Hello, everyone. This is Book Thoughts with Mr. Bill and Miss Natalie, and I am Miss Natalie, the lead teen librarian at Kalamazoo Public Library.
And I'm Mr. Bill, the lead children's librarian here at KPL. We're super excited to tell you about some of our favorite picks from the children's and teens collections at the library. Roy Digs Dirt. This is the new picture book from David Shannon. David Shannon created that well-known Caldecott Honor book, No, David. Also, A Bad Case of Stripes, Duck on a Bike, so many other fantastic picture books in the favorites picture book neighborhood at the Kalamazoo Public Library locations. I know you'll love this one too. The illustrations are just really, really cool. And Roy digs dirt. He digs mud because mud is dirt gravy. Roy does not dig baths, but Roy digs the world, and the whole world is built on dirt. I think you're really going to love this new one from David Shannon.
This book is John Lewis, Civil Rights Champion and Congressman by Cavendish Square Publishing from New York, New York. It is part of the African American Trailblazers series, which is new to the teen collection at Kalamazoo Public Library. We just began adding it this year. It is a nonfiction book for ages 11 plus, and it truly is even interesting for adults. It is a really well written book about the life and works of Mr. Lewis, who was born in 1940 and did pass this year on July 17th. He was the U.S. representative for Georgia's 5th District, had devoted his life to civil rights and creating equity for people of color and black citizens in particular. He was born in Troy, Alabama, was the son of a sharecropper, and had joined or started his civil rights work as early as 1959. He organized student sit in demonstrations in the Nashville area. He volunteered as a freedom rider in 1961, challenging bus and rail segregation laws. He was a keynote speaker at the March on Washington with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He organized voting rights marches from Selma to Montgomery. He has joined over thousands of demonstrators and protests over the course of his life, and he was dedicated to his work until the very week that he died, even on his deathbed, writing an editorial for the New York Times on the importance of nonviolent demonstration. He served in the U.S. House of Representatives for Georgia's 5th District from 1987 to 2020. This is just a fantastic book, and it is worth taking a look. It is inspirational, informational, and just very well written.
How to Test a Friendship is the first book in a new series called The Magnificent Makers. This is realistic fiction with fantasy elements. Think Miss Frizzle's Magic School Bus or The Spaceship of the Imagination from Cosmos. For The Magnificent Makers, it's Dr. Crisp's Maker Maze. I love this book because it's about science. It's about friendship and how third graders Pablo and Violet bring a third friend in, new kid Deepak. You will see Reggie Brown's awesome cartoon-like illustrations all throughout this short chapter book. Here are Dr. Crisp's not-so-secret science tips, because science is for everyone. Be curious, keep asking questions, explore the world around you. You never know where your next discovery is hiding. Find new ways to use old things, like the plastic bottle boat project at the end of the book. Deanne Griffith, the author of the series, is a brain scientist by day. She loves writing children's books that are chock full of science concepts. At the end of the book, you'll find plans for that rubber band powered boat and a preview of the next book in the series, which is available now.
This is A Phoenix First Must Burn 16 Stories of Black Girl Magic, Resistance, and Hope, edited by Patrice Caldwell, featuring authors such as Elizabeth Acevedo, Amory, Danielle Clayton, Jaleesa Corey, Samaya Dowd, Charlotte Davis, and just so many more. It is a fantasy and science fiction anthology featuring African American female protagonists, and it is primarily for ages 12 and up. It is a fantastically good book with some of the most beautiful imagery I've ever read. It is definitely it puts me in mind of Octavia Butler's books for a teen audience, and it centers around Black women and gender nonconforming individuals. It just takes you on a journey of folk tales that are retold all the way to futuristic societies and then everything in between. You can't help but see yourself reflected in these characters. There are witches and scientists, sisters and lovers, priestesses and rebels. It is incredible. All of the protagonists in this book shine very, very brightly. I highly recommend it.
I am looking forward to high fiving my friends again. Do you know who invented the high five? It was Major League Baseball player Glenn Burke. In 1977, with his teammate coming around the bases into home plate for his 30th home run of the season, rookie Glenn Burke spontaneously high fived Dusty Baker. It was a celebration because Baker's homer meant that the 77 Dodgers were the first home run quartet in Major League Baseball history, with four players to get 30 or more homers in a season. The high five took off across lots of different sports and the rest of life too, so that today we take it for granted. Sadly, Glenn Burke was traded away from the Dodgers and was pushed out of Major League Baseball just for being gay, just for being who he was. Fast forward to the here and now. In this excellent new middle grade novel, sixth grader Silas Wade gives a report on Glenn Burke, but just the part about the invention of the high five. And it's the first step in coming out. Silas is a really likable character. He's the life of his baseball team, and he loves the game so much. It's super important to him, just like robotics is super important to his best friend Zoe. I really appreciate the way author Phil Bildner combines great characters with a fair amount of baseball in a feel-good chapter book. I also appreciate the way Silas's coach is supportive of Silas. He's another caring adult who helps Silas understand the value of being himself. Author Phil Bildner dedicates the book to Glenn Burke, and for every kid who ever questioned or doubted whether they could play sports because of who he, she, or they are. You can play. You belong. You don't have to be a baseball fan to love this book. It's a great book, all about friendship, very relatable, and funny with so much heart.
Hello. Rather than talking about a third book, I wanted to bring to attention our KPL at Home activity kits for kids and teens. The children's kits are for ages 4 through 10 and feature activities that are appropriate for those ages. Everything from coloring stickers to origami, paper planes, and cross stitching. There's no registration required. We have them at the children's room in Central and at the service desks and greeter tables at the branch locations. For the KPL at home teens, we did not forget about the teens. Those are ages 11 through 18 with activities appropriate for the older ages. We know they like to do things different than the younger kids. Again, no registration required. These are at the teen department in Central and at service desks and greeter tables at the branch locations. These are just a way of bringing home some of the fun activities, all to keep for free from the library. We are going to be featuring new items every month while supplies last through this fall, going into the winter at these for these KPL at home activity kits. We are so excited to offer them. It's just a little way that you can take the library home with you that allows you to stay safe and have some fun.
Thanks for joining us for Book Thoughts with Mr. Bill and Miss Natalie. We'll be back next time with more great picks from our children's and teen collections here at the Kalamazoo Public Library. Till then, be safe, have fun, and keep on reading.